Hello my love bugs, and welcome to my channel. My name is Aaron Whisper, and this is going to be like a story time video, I suppose. As you probably can tell by the title, it's going to be about my sexuality, and my story. I know that not everyone is going to agree with this, and, I'm sure I'm gonna get hate on it, but I just want to get it out there, to you guys, and hopefully it'll help you guys come out, or, like, if you're closeted, or just kind of get more of a knowledge on the situation, and how to react to it. So, let's not waste a lot of time on this boring intro, and let's just get into the video. So, I know this is a lot, and this is going to be a pretty long video, I think, so get your snacks, get some headphones or whatever, relax, and listen. So, as a precursor, I wanted to kind of just let you know why I decided to do this video right now. I was thinking that I kind of wanted to do it on National Coming Out Day or whatever, but I watched Love, Simon. If you don't know what it is, it's a movie that just released this past week, Friday, about a closeted gay kid and like his story and stuff. And it really made me think about when I was in a situation like that, like before I'd come out, and how awful it was. So anyway, so that's just the reason to this video, but let's get into the actual video. So, I came out in 8th grade. Now, I didn't come out as gay right away. I came out as bi, and I knew I was gay. But I just don't know if I was ready for everyone else to know it yet, and I was kind of like testing the waters, I suppose. Now, I've known since a very young age, and like I've dealt with it for so long that like it kind of became a normal thing, like to a point where until I got older, I wasn't even like thinking about coming out like, oh, it's such a normal thing, like whatever. It didn't even cross my mind that it wasn't like something that usually happened or whatever. But anyway, and I'm not saying that like I was born gay or like I turned gay or whatever, because honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I was born gay, because, whatever. But, and honestly, I never thought it was that important. It's not how or when or any of it. It's that you are and that someone is. Especially at a time when they're so scared and so full of anxiety that they be outed or whatever the situation may be, and they didn't know. I didn't know how everyone would react. And I'm sure a lot of, if you're closeted, you guys don't really know either. And I think that not knowing is partially what's so horrifying about it. Like, you never know. But anyway, so, I came out in 8th grade as bi. And, of course, I knew that wasn't true. And I did come out as gay, thank God. And, like, even when I came out as bi, I knew I wasn't being truthful. And I knew that until I told people... Sorry, my lips are dying. Until I actually told everyone that I was who I am, I was going to be stuck in this prison. And I was not willing to be imprisoned for that, like that. Looking back, like, I just realized how much it really weighed down on me, how much stress it put on me, how much I was so scared that, like, the moment I broke stereotypical heterosexual activities or whatever, which I apparently didn't pass very well, but we'll get into that later. Someone would find out. And that was so horrifying. So, I don't even know how. It's so horrible, but anyway. So, I did come out, obviously. And I came out, and I think I came out to my first friends as actually gay at like the end of 8th grade. I remember the first time I told anyone. It was my best friend, who still is my best friend, and always will be. She was in the room when I was born, actually. She's like a year older than me. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And it's so funny because I was like so nervous to let her know, and I was like, leading up to it, I had planned the whole situation, and I was like, there's something I need to tell you, like, and then I told her, and I said it. I was like, I'm gay. Those 2 words have so much power and such a strong meaning to them. Like, just saying them, I had to say it almost a few times to myself, like, to make it for real, oh my god. And I don't know what I was expecting in that situation. I didn't know if she was gonna be okay with it or what, 'cause she was a religious person, but it was so funny. She said, Aaron, I know I've known for ever, and I still love you, okay. And just hearing those words after you say something like that, it's intense. You know, you go into a situation not knowing what to expect, what's gonna happen, or anything like that, and your friend says that. It was amazing, honestly. And it did give me more confidence. I did begin to tell my other friends, and then there was my family. I was so scared to tell them. So scared. They were very religious or whatever. Oh my god. But actually, the first person in my family I told, well, kind of, that found out was my youngest brother. He overheard me telling someone. And of course he questioned me about it. He was like, so have you ever heard this? I was like, of course. Yeah, I am. And he was like, okay, whatever. But then he did tell my parents. But I actually told my siblings anyway, because they were siblings and we were all very close. But anyway, so he told my parents, well, my mother. And she did question me about it. And I kind of knew that she wasn't going to handle it well. I'd known her position on this type of thing for so long. And so I knew she wasn't going to handle it well. And she didn't. She used it against me a lot. And my stepfather did. And I'm still not really, I struggle still trying to forgive them for all the stuff they put me through with it. And just the hypocriticalness, because they'd always be like, oh, you can talk to us, and she'd always try to be like, oh, do you have any boyfriends or whatever? Do you have crushes? And I'm like, I did not feel comfortable at all in that situation living with them. And I think, and I hate to be like that, but obviously everyone has the right to their opinion, and I've realized that not everyone's gonna agree, but living with them, knowing their opinion on it, on such an important part of my life, such a big, major part of my life, put so much weight on my shoulders, I'd go from being home and they'd be using homophobic slurs and stuff like that, to going to school and acting like everything was fine, my family was great, you know. Um, and it was very intense for me. And then going home from school and realizing, and I remember every day I got off the bus, what am I going to have to deal with today? Oh my god, I'm sorry. And it was awful. And I feel so horrible hearing that all these people go through all this horrible stuff. And I know that the stuff that I went through was nowhere near as horrible as some of the stuff that these other people go through, but seeing how much it affected me was still so intense. So, it was intense, but I got through it. Eventually, they became more tolerant. I wouldn't say okay with it. But they made their position very clear they weren't okay with it. And I was not willing to live with them, with that any longer, so I did move out. At the time, obviously, actually since a while before then, my my father and my biological mother, my biological parents, had been separated. And so I did have to tell my dad. And like, my dad's very religious too. But he wasn't even like so nervous with my dad because I knew that like he loved me. He was a great person. So I told him, I was like, you know, I've told everyone here, I'm gay. And he's like, and of course he did. He was like, oh, I'm sure you know it's not godly. But he's like, but I love you and, I can respect you. And I was like, okay. And like that meant so much to me. My stepmother was like, I've known. Apparently, now that we joke about it, it's actually funny. She's like, I literally would tell your dad, like, when you guys were here, or you'd go home, and she'd be like, Aaron's gonna be gay. And of course, I was like, oh my god. And well, she wasn't wrong. She knows me well. But anyway, so, like, overall, obviously, it was not the best situation, but looking back on it, I'm still so proud, like, being able, starting from where I was to getting to even where I am now with it. It's so amazing. And I just can't believe it. It's amazing. And my family, I still don't really talk to my stepfather and my mother about it. I do talk to my father and my stepmother about it a lot more. My grandma, I was actually very scared to tell, because she's like the most religious person I know. But in the same way, I knew that like she loved me. With all the stuff that my mother put me through, my grandma was there. Well, all of us kids, my mother was there. My grandmother was there. She would let us come over, and she was like a vacation. She was like our home away from home, and so she did find out. Now literally we're like discussing getting glam together when I visit and stuff. She's so sweet. But it is intense. So, you know, I don't know. I love them all, but I have to know that there's different opinions, and I have to respect everyone else's as they're supposed to respect mine. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So, if there's anything you take away from this video, it's that first of all, you're loved. You might not feel it, maybe not by your parents, but no matter what, there's always going to be someone there for you. Whether it be your friends or maybe your family or even me, if you need to talk, I'm here, email me, like, message me and stuff. Like, I'm always willing to talk. And know that I love you guys, and I support you in everything and anything. Because I know what it's like not to be supported, and what that is like. And it's horrifying, so I go out of my way. I've had this motto, like, I might not like everything that you do, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you know that I'm not supporting you, or that I'm going to be rude about it or disrespectful. And so know that I love you guys. Another things I want you to know about is, thing I want you to know about is, it's not the end of the world. Whether you're gay or bi or trans or pan or whatever you are, whatever you define yourself as, it's not, I mean, yes, it is important, but it's not the only thing great about you. And it never will be. And if people can't focus on that, then they're not the people you should be hanging out with or focusing on. Because if you're really friends with them or they really do care and love you, then they aren't going to be throwing it up in your face. They won't do that. So just know that. And know that also it gets better. It might not. It could be a minute from now, a second from now, 30 minutes from now, a day from now, a month from now, a year from now. But look forward to knowing it will get better. I look back on, like, from when I was getting grown up to today, and, like, when I was getting, like, raised, the thought of homosexuality was hated so much. And I'm not that old. That's, like, a couple of decades. And there's already been such a change. And everyone's become so much more accepting with it. And know that. Just look forward to that. You know, if you're not ready to come out, or you feel like you're not in a good enough situation to, then wait. And that's another thing I want you to know. It's not someone else's decision when you're ready. It's not someone else's life. It's not someone else's sexuality that you're talking about, that you're coming out as. It's yours. So, I don't care if society's 100% okay with it, or 10% okay with it. When you feel like you're ready, or you know that you're sure that you can do it, then do it. But don't do it on anyone else's time, because it's you, you know? You don't want to... It's not someone else's decision, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, it's all you. Don't feel rushed to come out. Don't feel, like, obligated to come out right this moment. Do it when you feel like you are emotionally and physically and mentally healthy enough and prepared enough to do it. Because, you know... And another thing, it's important to, like, if you are out, you know, my coming out situation was not the best. I practically fell on the out of the closet on my face. And it was a struggle. It really was. But I don't know, I just held in there, and I hung on in there. And I realize now that how or when or whatever isn't the point. It's that you come out. You know, I'm glad I came out. Like, obviously I wish I had more supporting people. Like, I do have supporting people, don't get me wrong, but parents, and I wasn't put through some of the stuff that I was. But I'm also glad because I still am out. I'm proud of myself for coming out. And if you're out, I'm proud of you. I'm proud for each and every one of you. And if you're not out, just know that I'm still proud of you because you keep going, knowing such a big thing about yourself, and you're still hanging in there, and it means so much. And I'm so proud of all of you, and I know you guys are strong, and I know what it takes to come out. And I've never respected anyone so much in my life. And I could say so much more, honestly. I could say so much more on it, but just know that I love you guys, and I care about you guys. And if other people are treating you crappily, you just gotta accept it and move on. I love you so much, and I'm proud of all of you guys, and I'm always here to talk, okay? I love you, and thank you guys for listening to this, and I really hope you did learn something from it, because there's just so much that you have yet to experience when you're not out. But anyway, I love you guys, and I hope to see you in my next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you want to share your story. Sound off in the comments, explain your story, tell your story, because you never know who it's going to affect, and when, or how. Alright, I love you guys. Bye.